The Second Arab Siege of Constantinople. The Second Arab Siege of Constantinople began on July 15, 717 AD and ended on August 15, 718 AD. The attack on the Eastern Roman capital was led by Maslama ibn al-Malik along with a massive army and navy of the Umayyad Caliphate. This was the second attempt by the Umayyads at trying to knock out the Eastern Romans. The two titans of the East battled it out in 678 AD when they launched a massive siege on Constantinople, which lasted nearly 4 years. Despite being outnumbered 5-1, the defenders were able to drive off the Arab invaders. The victory, however, led to the loss of the rest of the western provinces to the barbarian kingdoms because all of Eastern Rome's military was focused on fighting off the Arab invasion. By 717 AD, the empire was in shambles. The 20 Years Anarchy, along with constant Arab invasions, led to a major contraction of the empire's borders. Leo III brought stability to the empire by ending the 20 Years Anarchy by toppling the former tax collector turned emperor Theodosius III when he marched into Constantinople on March 25, 717 AD and was crowned emperor. Unfortunately, Leo didn't have a lot of time to celebrate because the Umayyad were marching towards Constantinople with a very large army of over 120,000 strong, along with a massive navy which numbered in over 1,800 ships. This invasion was planned for years by the Umayyad. They had been preparing for this campaign since 705 AD, and during that time period, the navy was greatly expanded, recruits were trained, and supplies were gathered, stocked, and stored in Eastern Roman territories that were already captured and occupied by the Arabs. The Umayyad were so convinced that they were going to easily crush the Eastern Romans that they directed most of their valuable resources toward this invasion. In 716 AD, the previous Eastern Roman Emperor, Theodosius III, conducted a treaty with the Bulgarian kingdom. This peace pact would later play a factor in the Arab invasion. The Bulgarian king Tervel made a treaty which favored his kingdom, but they in turn would help protect Constantinople from a future Arab invasion. In the late spring and early summer of 717 AD, the Umayyad army devastated the surrounding provinces of Constantinople, raided towns, and stripped the countryside, while their navy began to blockade the sea surrounding the city. Leo tried to parley with the Umayyad by offering them a large sum of gold coins, but they refused because their leader said, there could be no peace with the vanquished. The Umayyad navy, commanded by Suleiman Murad, tried to establish a naval blockade by surrounding the Bosphorus Strait and the Sea of Marmara around Constantinople early on into the siege, but the inclement weather, along with the Eastern Roman navy's heavy usage of Greek fire, prevented the Arabs from not only establishing a successful blockade, but stopped any attempt from an amphibious attack upon the city's sea walls. The powerful Umayyad navy was pretty much sidelined at the moment, and the failure of the initial blockade led to supplies and extra soldiers being brought into Constantinople. The defenders of the city hoisted up a giant boom chain to act as an obstacle, preventing the ships from entering the Golden Horn, a natural waterway which led into Constantinople. The Arab besiegers surrounded the vicinity of Constantinople and erected giant investments to try and keep the citizens of the city from fleeing. But despite bringing in large amounts of supplies, the massive army went through it fairly quickly because the Eastern Romans were able to bring in extra food due to the failure of the Umayyad naval blockade and were able to withstand the siege. The siege of Constantinople dragged on for months before a very harsh winter drove the Arab soldiers into famine, as there was nothing left to strip, plunder, or raid in the surrounding region, and the wheat they sowed failed to grow. And they started to eat their own transport animals. They even ate the remaining trees that they didn't use for fortifications, nearby shrubs, roots, and soon their own dead, before a deadly plague began to circulate around the Umayyad camp, killing even more of the soldiers. In the early spring of 718 AD, a large relief fleet from Egypt was heading towards Constantinople, filled with supplies for the sick and starving Umayyad soldiers, along with another large army coming from Anatolia. The relief fleet was manned by captured Christians who once got near the Strait of the Bosphorus, jumped ship, leaving the Umayyad navy high and dry. With the majority of their rowers joining the Eastern Romans, they were sitting ducks for their navy, who caught up to the Arab ships and doused them with Greek fire. Most of the Umayyad navy was either destroyed or recaptured by their former deckhand. The larger Umayyad army of reinforcements were defeated in battle near the city of Nicomedia on the Anatolia side of the empire. They were sent to slaughter in an ambush set up by the Eastern Roman army. The remaining besiegers were then dealt another blow when the Bulgarian army attacked their camp after a large number of them ventured into Bulgarian territory and raided their nearby towns looking for food. And after 13 months and suffering a near loss of their entire invading force, the Umayyads retreated from Constantinople on August 15, 718 AD. The ending of the Second Siege of Constantinople also happened to fall on a holy day. August 15th is the coronation day of the Mother of God, which made the victory extra sweet for the Eastern Romans. Thanks for watching another episode of the Byzantine history of the Eastern Roman Empire. My name is Joseph Ulibas, and I hope to see you soon. And if you enjoyed this series, please subscribe to this channel.